Hey YouTube, welcome to another episode of Him and Her Overland. Everyone has asked us about what does it look like on the inside? How does the inside work? How does everything operate on the inside? So we figured we'd give you an in-depth walk around of the inside of our TetonX trailer. If you've been following us for a while, you know that we bought our TetonX at the beginning of March of 2021. And we went out to St. George, Utah, where TetonX is located. We picked it up and we brought it on home. Ever since then, we've been using it on weekends and anywhere that we can. One thing you may not know is that every TetonX is custom. Kyle and Lindsay and their team out in St. George, Utah, build each one to specification. So while you may go ahead and look online and see the baseline, the baseline price runs, I want to say about $21,000. Almost no one that I've ever heard of has bought a baseline TetonX just right out the door, didn't get any add-ons. So because of that, we got a number of add-ons for our TetonX that is specific to how we do things and how we like to camp. We're going to walk you through some of those today, and I'm going to show you the infrastructure, show you down under the covers of some things. Becky's going to walk you through how she likes to organize the TetonX, and come along and see how it goes. Some of the options we chose for this particular TetonX are two 100-watt Zamp Obsidian solar panels. It's a lot to say, and they do an amazing job. They are backed up by a 100 amp hour Battleborn lithium-ion battery. When we were choosing the options for our TetonX, we went with a 40-gallon water tank. They offered no tank, 20 gallons or 40 gallons, and we wanted to be able to spend as much time off-grid and out away from everyone as possible anytime we go camping. We also chose to go with a Truma water heater that's on demand and a Truma cabin heater that works to heat the cabin when we're out in fall or winter conditions. It really came in handy as we were driving back from Utah in March, and we had to move through some very cold climates as we were coming back through Utah, Nevada, and Eastern Oregon.
When we did order our TetonX, there are a couple of things that we decided against. First was the TV. We don't need the TV when we're out camping because we're always outside, always doing something else. Another thing that we did not get was the inverter. Later on, if we decide that we need it, if we're using a lot more devices out in the field, then we'll get one. But until then, we don't need it. Another thing we didn't get was the AC. Where we go, up in the mountains, or to the beach, it's usually nice and cool or a nice breeze, so we didn't figure we needed that. We live in Oregon, and normally it's much cooler than it was when we lived in Texas. And the last thing we didn't get was the bunk. We figured we didn't need it. We don't need the extra storage. We don't have any kids to put up there. It kind of is in the way if you don't use it, and we didn't want to hit our heads on it or anything like that. So we just decided against it.
Now, if you see where we're sitting right now, you'll notice there's a cutout, and we're sitting kind of where the bed normally is. This is where you would normally put your table. We never use the table. It's not that we don't want to use the table. We just have no reason to use it. We're always outside. It's just two of us most of the time. If we have rain, we're under the awnings, or we're not out there. We're doing some driving. We're doing something else. So we never use the table. In fact, the table leg doesn't come with us most of the time when we're out camping. We use the table because it's part of the platform for the bed. We'll take the table leg if we do a long road trip. But for the most part, it's just something extra to bounce around, and we don't need that. We always leave this in sleep mode. It's always got the bed going, and we'll show you that at the end of this video. We'll make up the bed, we'll put the topper on, we'll have it all kitted out and ready like we're about to go camping this weekend. Let's talk about all the access points that we have into the infrastructure of the trailer. The first access point currently doesn't contain anything in this particular trailer. It's an area that allows airflow through the underside of the bed and to any of the component parts, including the water tank or the electronics. If we needed to run some wire, we needed to do something at a later date, we've got an area where we can just pick this up, we can run our wires through. It makes it really easy for us to get down in. The second area is for access to the water tank. TetonX provided a 40-gallon tank for this particular trailer, and this allows us to get up under there to do maintenance on that. If I need to get to any of the hoses, if I actually need to get down into the area, pull the lid off to be able to pull out any of the baffle balls that allow us to not have sloshing around and to keep the tank very easy. If I need to do maintenance, if I need to clean out the tank for any reason, it's been in storage for a while, that's what this allows us to do. Separately, right in front of this area is where we have our 12 volt, where we have our carbon monoxide, and where we have our normal shore power, because we don't have an inverter here. So this allows us to get to all those component pieces. If I have to replace my carbon monoxide alarm, or if I needed to work or add additional components to my 12 volt system, I can do that from here very easily. Shifting around to the other side is where we have all of our electronics. This is going to be our fuse panel. This is going to be our Victron setup. This is going to be our MPPT battery charger. This is going to be access to our outdoor shower if we need to get to any of the pipes there. This also includes the master on-off switch, the master breaker, and all the sub-breakers for each individual component that we have in here. If I did have an inverter, this would also be where the inverter was stored. As we move on, we get to this area, which stores our battery. So initially there's just a nice little storage area here. Then I pull up this panel, and down in here is where the Battleborn 100 amp hour battery is. They've also created an area where I can slide my one battery over. I can put a second battery in there if I need additional room. As we move to the front of the trailer, you'll notice that we have lower shelves and upper shelves. The upper shelves have easy pulls that allow us to move these shelves up into the position that we need. A lot of times I will take that and just move these out of the way. Underneath here, we have an open area that we can pull up that has our Dometic fridge freezer combo set. As you can see, it's easy to get into those. We can get in and out very quickly. If you have your Dometic fridge pulled out, you can actually lift up this area, and then you can pull out this. We'll push this back down for a second. You can pull out this area, and separately you can pull out this panel, and that gives you complete access into the heater and the water heater. This also allows us to get down to any of the valves that we need to turn on or off, which will include our hot, our cold, our merge, our bleed, and our empty. This makes it very easy if we need to get in to do any maintenance on the inside. I've even seen Kyle climb inside of this area and do work as he needed to. At this point, I'll turn it over to Becky and she'll walk us through storage options.
As far as storage goes, there's a lot of options out there. These shelves can go all the way up, which makes plenty of room for a bunk or storage if you like, or they can come down. They are fairly deep, so you can put a lot of stuff under there. What I have done is I bought these cute little bins off of Amazon. I got a pack of 8, so there's plenty to go. They will stack 2 deep in this area, so you have plenty of storage for food, clothes, towels, any camping necessities that you need. What I've also done is I have this cute little cart organizer, which actually works very well right here over where the refrigerator goes. So if you need to get into the refrigerator, this will easily raise this up. This will easily slide out with all your stuff, put it aside, then you can get into your refrigerator. Something else that we've done is we bought these cute little tubs. They can hold quite a bit. I think they're 5-gallon. We use them for our mountain house and extra food storage, but they fit in this little area under here perfect. And they stack and they just fit real nice under here. Something else a little silly, but it works. I hung a little bungee cord here on the side, and it's perfect for wet towels after you take a shower. If you don't want to leave them outside, they dry nicely here. But those are just a couple of the things that I've done. I also have a little bit of small storage things that fit up here, so you can put all your electronics, all your cords, anything like that that you want to just keep them out of the way.
As we have gotten older, we have come to appreciate a comfortable bed. When I was young and in the Army, sleeping on the ground or a cot was acceptable. That is no longer true today. TetonX provides a pair of mattresses that combine to be just a couple inches shy of queen size. One side is firmer than the other, so make sure you know which side you like, as that can greatly affect your comfort. We have added several inches of additional foam topper to ours to meet our comfort needs. We make the bed just like at home with a fitted sheet, a flat sheet, and then the number of blankets we desire depending on the time of year. We sometimes bring along a pair of sleeping bags that can be used together or separately if the cold dips too much, but so far the Truma heater has easily kept up. Well, that's the walkthrough. You've now seen the inside of the TetonX, or at least our version of it. You've gotten a chance to see how we like to put it together. And if you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them down below. We ask that if you like this video, go ahead and put a like in. If you really like this video, go ahead and subscribe. We're going to be putting out all kinds of other content. We're always trying to go out and do more camping and show off the Teton, show off the great area that is Oregon. And so follow us along. Come see what we've got going on. Until next time.